Hi, love. Hi, hello, and welcome to Co-Creative Healing Journey. My name is Greta. I am a healer, and on this channel, I am hosting an ongoing healing process where I am creating messages here for YouTube and then intuitive healings for my Patreon. So you can watch the messages here and then head over to the Patreon. For this video, there's going to be energy work that has been created that was already up from last week, so you can avail yourself of that in the process. And then otherwise, we're gonna get right to it. I have cards here. I have messages to draw from Spirit. Ooh, it just popped up. Where we are going to be talking about joyous creativity. That is the theme. This is the last week. We already started last week with joyous creativity, and next week we're going to be doing departure, which I'm super excited about. I love talking departure. I'm the queen of departure. So we will get to that. But before then, we need to move through joyous creativity, which is joyous, which is a privilege, which is going to be wonderful. So, 4. Okay. There was a card that popped up, which is the Princess of Wands. We have adjustment. So before I keep drawing the cards, I actually want to tell you that this week we're talking more about effort and when things can become effortless, right? Effortless effort in a sense. So let's go back to the cards. We have the Princess of Wands. That being said, we have got adjustment, major arcana number 7. We have got the Princess of Swords. Okay, a second princess. We've got 5 cards actually. We've got the 10 of Wands with oppression. Ooh. And finally, we've got the King of Cups. In this deck, the Knight is the King of Cups right there. So, I feel like they're 2 and 3. My love. With this Princess of Wands here, this is you. And this is Spirit saying you are on the threshold. You're on the threshold of a revolution. And I'm being shown it very much like the industrial revolutions. And this would be a revolution of the self. This would be a revolution in how you go about creating outcomes in your life, making things happen, how your life moves, how your life yields things, right? Like your life is unfolding and then there are creations that come from that. How you go about that is now open to a big change and a big transformation. However, in order to engender that big change and transformation with the altar here, something needs to go. Something has to be sacrificed, something that you cannot take with you. Luckily, it's something that you sacrifice and you are lighter and you are more joyous and you are open. And with the tiger here on the tail, it represents fearlessness and a lot of power gained from being fearless. That's very true. We gain a tremendous amount of power when we are embodying a much less fearless version of ourselves. And when we're moving into the world and through the world and through life, making choices from a fearless space, that is a true amount of power. And I feel like that's the wave here, like this flame, this wave of fire, this flame rising up in order to signify a new energy flowing through your life, and that energy being very powerful, creative, of course, but also very empowering, which is where we are able to call on our latent power in order to make things happen. Everybody on the planet is powerful. Not everybody is empowered. And this is very much talking about being empowered through a more fearless approach that requires the sacrifice of something. And that something would be patterns, energies, dynamics, maybe relationships, conditions, circumstances, ways in which you've entrenched yourself. That's how it feels like and what it looks like, just being caught up in all kinds of things that just are not serving your highest good. They are not aligned with a higher version of yourself. They're not good for you. They're not working for you. But still, they could be there in your everyday life. They could be there in your moments. They could be there in your embodiment. Things that you're just ready to like let go of. And even Spirit is saying is required for you to let go of so you can step into the next phase. That being said, we have here the adjustment. So straight away, I am going to an equinox. Equinox in September. Depending on where you are in the world, that is fall or it is spring. But very much the equinox of 2024. And then Spirit is really saying that it's going to be like every single seasonal event like that is going to be a portal, and there's going to be an ending. So that collective energies at this time are really supporting us to let these patterns go. And that's very much the energy of 2025, because 2025 is the space where we're going to be tested a lot. 2025 is this energy that goes, hey, is this the version of you that you've chosen, that you've been working on yourself to create and that you've chosen to embody? Is that you? And then testing you on this. Okay, is this really how you want it to be? Is that really how you want it to be? But not a test as in a challenge. It's more a pressure test. Like, how strong are you in this? How balanced are you in this, right? How much are you balancing on your truth? And how well are you centered in it? It feels like a very benevolent energy, like a mom, who's about to send you off to school and she's just checking your bag. Do you have your tissues? Do you have your juice box? Do you have all of these things? It's that kind of energy, the universe going like, are you ready for what's on the other side of 2025? And so this process of adjustment. Now, adjustment and the equinox energy, the September equinox, is very karmic. For me, it's a very karmic time. And I've noticed over the years, and I can see it in the energy, that it's also very much about soul contracts. It's very much about, again, karmic energy. Where are you on the path? How are things going? And then whittling away, releasing, purging, cleansing what stands against that, right? So that's the area. Those are the times that we're in. Now we're going more into this effortless action space. And I vaguely remember how to do the cards, but I think this was the next one. It's the right one here and now anyway. So we have our Princess of Swords. And Princess of Swords is talking about a revolution of your thoughts, a revolution of your beliefs, and to some extent a revolution of your perspective. And the Princess of Swords, when you read the description of this card, it does talk about how she is rebelling for love. And so it's about swatting away thoughts that don't work for you, beliefs that don't work for you, that create these kinds of emotional moods. So you get caught up and embedded and you keep going with things that really don't work for you, they don't serve you. And this energy is coming in to purify that away, clearing away those moods. Now with the Princess of Swords, there's also the notion of new thoughts, new ideas, new beliefs, new perspectives to engender, to create, but also to go by. And again, there's I believe in the text it does speak about revolution, that there's this revolutionary energy, and it's also linked to that. There's a revolutionary way to think and perspective, but because it's the Princess of Swords energy, it's very individual. It's going to be revolutionary for you. It's going to be revolutionary in your life with your patterns and your perspective and your beliefs and where you've been and how you've gone about things. These ideas that come in and it's like, oh wow, I could do it this way. I could do it that. I could not do it at all. That would be amazing, and so on and so forth. But it does come again in this energy of freeing up love energy to follow much more freely. And so we come kind of full circle with everything into this Ten of Wands energy, oppression. There's energy here in the background that is getting ready to go, that is getting ready to move. Spirit is saying it's getting ready to rock your world. But in this deck, we have the Two of Wands that are not connected and are not working together. And the Two of Wands in this deck is dominion, but it represents your initiative, your agency, and what you're putting into it. And so we come back to the notion of effort. Where's your effort going? Where are you putting in your effort, your time, your energy, your resources, your focus, your attention? Where is that going? And more, you're going to see situations and circumstances in your life that are going to show up and say, hi, I am really resource intensive. I take a lot of your time. I take a lot of your attention. I take a lot of your focus. I take a lot of your positivity. I take a lot of your vitality, and so on and so forth. But at the same time, with oppression, I don't give much back. There is an energy here that in that area of life wants to give back to you. But because of this situation, this condition, this person, this way in which it's happening, the more surface level stuff, that energy is not coming back to you because the vessel through which the energy is to come back to you is not in alignment. It is not true. So for example, the easiest example would be like you go to work every day and you put in your time, you put in your energy, you put in your focus, you're first one there, last one out. But in this company, they have policies. They're never going to pay you, the same right amount that you deserve. They're never going to give you a raise and so on. And it's just kind of a dead end, right? Dead end job. And it's that kind of dynamic. It's like you wouldn't look at that company and go, how can you not give me back this? Well, it's not set up like that. It doesn't function like that. It's written in your contract and so on and so forth. Look at your colleagues and da, 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 da. And there are all of these reasons why not, why it can't work, why it can't give you that back. And it's the same way it would be in a relationship. You're giving love, you're giving time, attention, resources, maybe even your money. You're just so into it, but you're not getting love. You're not maybe even getting respect. You're not getting connection back. And fundamentally could be someone who just doesn't have the communication skills. They don't have the life experience where they value relationships or they value your way of loving and so on and so forth. It's just not going to come back. The capacity for it isn't there. And so there is a block, there is limitation, and there is inherent functional structural limitation. It's built that way. It is that way. It can't work for you. It doesn't mean it can't work. It doesn't mean it's dysfunctional in every single circumstance, situation, and so on. It can work for some people, but it doesn't work for you. And so these situations and circumstances are going to become glaringly obvious, because in those situations and circumstances, the issue is not necessarily that you're in it, it's that you're putting effort into it. And if you're someone who can be in a situation or circumstance, maybe a relationship or a job, and you don't want to give any effort, that's fine. Then it is a match, right? But if you've been putting in effort, it means that you would want something else out of it. And then therefore you are in a misaligned situation and circumstance. And that again is going to become glaringly obvious. Now, with the King of Cups, there's the ability to rise above and transcend. And that's what Spirit wants you to know. If you take this in with the maturity of the King of Cups, but also the immunity of the King of Cups, meaning been there, done that, won't go back there again. I'm going to rise above. I'm going to transcend. I'm going to move on, move forward towards something bigger, greater. If you allow it to make it a better version of you, to birth a better version of you into the world within and without, if you take it in that way, then, then let's draw some more cards. What's going to come? What's going to come from it? Spirit says fundamentally, yeah, we have the Fool. Beautiful. Oh my God. Effortless effort. The Fool. Joyous creativity, the Fool. What's going to come from it is definitely something worth putting your effort into, because I think that's what I just love about this. And I think that's the part of the perspective shift here. And what to sacrifice is that it's thinking like, oh, it's not me. It's just not the right workplace. It's just not the right relationship. It's just not the right choice. It's just not the right way. It's something more objective, something more neutral, rather than go and even devolve into the explanation that there's something wrong with me, or I'm doing it wrong, or I'm not enough, or I'm too selfish, or I'm too needy, or whatever. Those are your patterns talking. That's not this energy of going into place. You know what? I'm going to validate me, who I am, who I really am, what I need, what works for me, what I deserve, what I want. I'm going to validate all of that. And then I'm going to move forward towards an experience or co-creation that is going to be able to give me that is going to be able to be what I want, need, and deserve for it to be. And that's a shift that is here at these times. And Spirit is saying the reason why we're talking about it in a video about joyous creativity and effort is because it underlies everything. You cannot put the right effort or really any kind of effort into anything if you're not aligned, and if it is not aligned to you, because it will breed resentment, it will breed failure, it will breed just kind of all kinds of wonky energies and dynamics. It's a faulty foundation, and anything and everything that comes from it will be faulty in some level to some degree. It won't be fully fulfilling, it won't be fully respectful of you, of others. It will be harmful to you, maybe harmful to others, maybe both, and so on and so forth. So we can't be putting like rotten ingredients into a food and then cooking the food, eating it, and then being surprised that it doesn't taste good. Well, yeah. And Spirit is even showing me, because again, joyous creativity is not just the outcome, it's also the process. If you're putting rotten ingredients into food, have you ever tried to cook food and it's rotten? Like that smell, the way it smells, it's just like I'm just seeing you cooking it like, oh, and dreading, oh, I'm gonna eat this, and yeah, it's food, and I'm gonna have food, which we're talking outside of the whole realm where people, might need to do this in order to sustain themselves and their lives. We're talking outside of that realm, because that's not the realm of the soul. That's not the realm of joyous creativity. But even this channel this process and the process that you're on. You're not in a space and place of scarcity and necessity, having to put up with things, having to make the best out of scraps. That's not the energy of where you are, and that's not where spirit especially is leading you. So that being said, we've got indolence, yeah. We've got another Princess of Cups, okay? And finally, we've got a Four of Swords. And all this Princess energy, which is pages, is this energy of learning something new, renewal, being in a new way, doing things in a new way. So indolence is the Eight of Cups, and it shows up and it's talking about attachment. The reason why we do things is because we are getting something out of it. And there's a big recognition here for you in these times, in these energies, for you to realize that, what I'm getting out of it isn't really working for me anymore. And I do feel like that's the Eight of Cups energy. It's just shy of the Nine of Cups. It's just shy of that ultimate level of happiness, which I want to show you. So spirit, top or bottom? Top. It is, it's just shy of this. This is what we want, and it's even the Dalai Lama. Everybody wants happiness. Nobody wants suffering. We all want this. We all want happiness in this overflowing way that is also very systematic and even has those 3 levels, which I say spirit, soul, personality. All of that is there, right? And we all want that. But here, with the Eight of Cups, is talking about stopping shy of that, just 1 cup shy of it, and settling for something that is not working for you. Now, there is an aspect of it that these patterns that you're going to be unfolding, that you're going to be seeing, that are going to be showing up for you, that these patterns have to do with something that once worked for you. Once upon a time, it did work for you. In some ways, it did work for you. To some degree, it did work for you. But you're in a space and a time now where you can soar, you can take off, you can be a much bigger, broader, truer version of yourself. And so this is just not going to be working for you anymore. It's not cutting it anymore. But when we have Eight of Cups showing up, we have to look at our attachments. And there are attachments at play that make it okay to still have less than. It's less than I deserve. It's less than what I would want. It's less than I need. But then there's an attachment. But I'm a loyal person. But it's all I deserve. But that's the way it's always been for my ethnic group, for my gender, for my people, for humanity, right? Whatever it is, there is a process of um, conditioning, but it's much more like buying into something, choosing to believe something for reasons of attachment and choosing to buy into it. And it's a continual thing. It's like you're continually convincing yourself. This is not this is not energy where you just believe in it once. This is daily convincing. Oh, well, I hate this job, like I hate this job, and then but the economy's terrible. Oh yeah, and then you tell yourself that in the morning getting to work, you tell yourself that at lunch, you tell yourself that after lunch when you're going back to work, you tell yourself that when you're leaving from work, when you get home thinking about the next day you're going back to work, before you go to bed, you tell yourself that, oh, I don't want to go to work, but the economy's bad. It's like that. But it's all I've ever known. But I've put so much energy into this relationship. But there's an ongoing convincing pattern going on. And so the Princess of Cups shows up with this brilliant illustration to show the kind of the antidote and really what spirit is asking of you. If you look at this Princess of Cups, she is wearing a dress adorned with crystals, which shows clarity. She has distance from the fish that represents the past. So there's a breaking away from just mindlessly reproducing repetitive patterns. She is holding the turtle, which shows the ability to protect oneself and others. And then she has the goose over her head, which is independence, and it is leading the way. That's how I'm seeing it in this instance. And so what you're being asked from spirit and from the universe is to put more energy and put your effort into clarity, into independence. You're being asked not necessarily to know how you're going to create a shift, how you're going to get a new job, how you're going to get a new relationship, how you're going to create this new project. You're not being asked to do that. You're being asked to maintain clarity continually about who you are and where you want to go. I want a better job. I want a true relationship. I want a Yeah, not a better job. That's comparative. I want an awesome job that I love. I want an awesome relationship with someone I love. I want an awesome project that is going to be so fulfilling for me to pursue. Those are the energies. And the point is that this Eight of Cups energy that I was just talking about, this kind of attachment, it is work. You're putting in effort to keep it alive. You are. You may or may not be aware that you are, right? You may or may not be aware of it, but you are. It takes effort. And so Spirit is asking you to shift it and instead put your effort into being clear about who you are and what works for you, where you want to go in life, what you want to experience, what you love, what you value, what works for you, what doesn't work for you, who's good to you, who's not good to you. Put your effort into being clear about that. And that will be in and of itself incredibly transformative, and it will bring in Four of Swords truce. Now in this deck, Four of Swords is a temporary equilibrium. The Two of Swords is a complete equilibrium, which is called peace. So it's not about peace, but it becomes truce. But you see here how it's depicted. Love how everything matches. You have this space that is created, which is green space, which is representing creativity. It gives you the space to think creatively. It gives you the space to think about how you can go there. And again, not in the grand scheme of things forever and ever, but here and now. What can I do now to move closer to that goal? What can I do now to live out that higher alignment, which again is not the alignment towards the destination, it's the alignment to your own clarity, right? It's to maintain clarity about who you are, where you want to go, what you want to be, what you want to create, and through that, it creates a creative space. It gives you creative leeway to start moving towards it. And I love this because there's four swords representing also kind of four thoughts, but Spirit is speaking to how things interconnect. So if you go, I want a job that I love and that I am passionate about, and then maybe a thought goes, what I'm doing isn't actually exactly what I want to do, and it's not exactly what I'm passionate about. Maybe I could take a course, and then you take one course, and then you take another, and then all of a sudden your job description has shifted. And because your job description has shifted, you can work for a different company who has leadership in that area, and then. It's like that. It's like the coming out of the space and the place, which is also part of the attachment, which is very unrealistically requiring the whole picture. It's like the attachment goes, okay, you have to tell me exactly how you're going to go from A to Z right here, right now, or we're not moving. We're not letting go of the old. We're not letting go of what's not working for us. I want the whole itinerary. I want the whole picture, or nothing's going to happen and nothing's getting done. And remember, that's you, right? That's a part of you speaking. And then Spirit is going to go into a different space and place and saying, hey, if you just stay clear about who you are and what you want to do, in every single moment, from moment to moment, choice to choice, you're going to naturally express that more and more. And that's what's going to create this path into who you truly are and what you truly want to be, to embodying it, to being it, living it, doing it, and creating it in the world. And now, of course, there is this aspect of it takes effort. It all takes effort. Sometimes I realize, for example, when I would eat sugar, like high content sugar, I found like 15%. If I look at a product on the back, it has more than 15%, then we have issues. But like the next day, my mind would be foggy. I wouldn't be thinking clearly. And then it would just affect me. And then things like not sleeping enough, of course. But I would do that for years, just sleeping in weird ways, but then realizing just how much better I function when I've had my 8 hours in a row, right? And then valuing that more and seeking that out more. But it takes effort. It takes effort to go to bed on time every single day. Da, 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 da. It takes effort to put down the high sugar food and go for a low sugar food, or whichever way it is, right? It takes effort to do the things, to sit down and meditate, to avoid those gossipy friends who would just get you so upset with gossips about everybody and things like that. It takes work, it takes effort to cut out those things, and it takes effort to stay true. So there's the dynamic of releasing them, and then there's the dynamic of embracing what really does help and feed and nurture your clarity. So again, all of it takes effort, but that's what Spirit is saying. It's not, there's no There's no either I don't do the effort or I do the effort. We're going to do it anyway. It's a part of life, right? We feed ourselves every day. We clothe ourselves every day. All of that is effort, and all of those things are effort. But it's about choosing the right kind of effort, the kind that is going to work for you, and moreover, the kind that is going to bring you to, yeah, we're going to end on this, happiness. Because again, Spirit is saying it's a cup away. Look who has a cup. A cup right there. A cup with the energy of Cancer, which is the self-awareness. The sign of self-awareness. If you could put more energy, more effort into self-awareness, into clarity about who you are, what you want, what you need, what you deserve, what works for you, what's true for you, then this happiness is going to follow. And maybe it will be one cup at a time, right? What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? One happy cup at a time. So, my love, that was the reading. Those were the messages that I have for you here and now. Remember, the energy work is up in the space. The self-healing has been created. It's up there and it is top notch. I'm really, really proud of it. And if you would like to join us in the space to do this work and to deepen your healing, also to participate in the intuitive healings, which also have been top notch for this whole joyous creativity. Yeah, of course, joyous creativity. It's been awesome. So those are available for you. Otherwise, I will see you here on YouTube for more messages. Sending you lots of love, making me see creative space. May you be blessed always and in always, and I'll be seeing you around. Bye, love.